All right, everybody, please help me welcome the Jill Halvaks.
Okay, so I'm going to endeavor to get through this without crying. All right. It's not the touch game, it's just my recollection. So first, just let me say, wow. Wow, I am totally overwhelmed. And I've seen some of you and most of you, hopefully, and hugged most of you. Yeah, I'm pretty much speechless. So I knew that I could not do this as my mentor, Bob, did, and just talk. And I learned so much from Bob, but it was not just talking. So I had to write this down. So bear with me, okay? So I first want to thank Bob and those first pioneers who started such a wonderful program. They knew what the principles to apply, and certainly their work has stood the test of time. I also want to thank all of you. Every one of you gave of yourselves, all for the joy of giving, and yes, to have a little fun. That is still so remarkable to me, even after all these years. When I started with orientation back in the dark ages, I was on staff in the late 70s. Oh, thank you, darling. I love you too. It was a much simpler time in the world. Heck, we registered for classes with a number 2 pencil and a Scantron. Some of you don't know what that is. So once I graduated in 1980, I was hired into student support services, and Bob and Fred Henderson ran the orientation programs at that point. I started helping out in any way that I could, and I think that I got all the late night shifts, thanks Bob, because they just wanted to go home and go to bed. And SPOP at that point in time was 3 days and 2 nights. And of course we had parent halls. Those parent halls, okay. We will get to that later. Staff training was a large part of all of our worlds each spring, but it pretty much ended there back in the day. We were small enough to group early on to see each other without setting up many of the side events that exist today for staff bonding. We got deeper into each training subject as the world changed, and so did the needs of our incoming students. They had more issues, and we had to find more ways to serve them. We formed family groups within the staff, created better safe space, and delved more into subjects like diversity, inclusion, leadership, and dealing with those that were different than ourselves. In those days, we could not accommodate everyone at SPOP. I think we could handle maybe about 30%. I wonder why we thought that was okay. I remember talking on the phone with incoming students and saying, oh, don't worry, just get academic advising and take a campus tour. You'll be fine. Good Lord. I was young, and it was in many ways still fun and games. Yes, sorry, my contacts are blurry. Yes, we all learned something, but I had no idea how that would affect me or you years down the road. Early in the 80s, I think it was like 1981, we added mini SPOPs, a full day of orientation to accommodate more students and their parents. We knew we had to do more. It was not the 60s and 70s when we just went to college. My parents waved me off from Northern California. I drove to UCI with somebody I met at SPOP. I guess they thought I'd figure it out. We didn't even have cell phones. Oh. Landline. Okay, some of you know what that is. At some point, we moved along. The Big Bear Weekend was added, or other places. I never went, thank God. You all know what I'm talking about. Yet another way for the staff to bond and spend some time together. The more we all knew, the closer we all became. We had to let UniPrep go in 1998. I know, sorry for those of you who know it. Costs were rising and fewer new students were attending UniPrep. It was a tough call to make, but in the end, it was all about the money. Students and parents were not willing or able to spend more money on more orientation. It was another change as I worked with the program for 33 years. One of my favorite stories from UniPrep was walking through the halls on a night when they were decorated for a theme event we used to do. Thank you, Brian. And I walked into one hall, and there was a horse. Yes, a live frickin' horse. In the living room atrium. Nice horse, nice horse. And I looked around and I said, get the horse out. The rest of the decorations stay. Get the horse out. Parents wanted more information and involvement with their children as the years went by. Simple tasks for college became a lot tougher. Tests got harder. The whole family had to work more to get someone into college or to keep someone in college. Costs to attend college continued to climb, but your willingness to give for free stayed steady. But helicopter parents came of age, and it's never been the same. All along, the concern about not accommodating every student grew. We knew that these students who attended orientation usually did better while they were at UCI. They felt more connected. They were comfortable on the campus right away. They came to campus and they looked for the people they had met at SPOP, and they just felt at home. Administrators at UCI really wanted all new students to attend orientation. But how do we do this and not burn out the volunteer staff? Side note, which is not in here, they really didn't want to pay for it. They wanted us to pay for it, so they wanted us to figure that out too. We also had to get each department we worked with on board with more programs. Academic units were not happy with us at first. Thank you, Tina, for being there for us later on. Most areas wanted to just hire a smaller staff, have them work full-time for 4 weeks, and get it over. That's all they wanted. I resisted that every step of the way. What we had could not be done by paying staff, cannot be done by paying staff. What you brought to the program by volunteering could not be lost. You gave because you wanted to, not because it was part of your job. With the support and push from the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, UCI mandated all students start attending orientation in 2007. Unfortunately, that was the end of the parent halls. Oh, I know. We also went to a 2-day, 1-night format in order to accommodate everybody. Changes we just had to make. I think I've missed the parent halls most of all. Who can forget the night? One of the parents came back from off campus drunk. Very drunk. She came to the dance, which at that particular time was over in Gateway Plaza. She was embarrassing her daughter and was totally out of control. Matt Crowley, where are you? Where are you, Matt? Thank you. Matt's in the back. Matt Crowley was a coordinator with 4 others, and he came in and he said, Jill, this mother is drunk, what do I do? And I said, Matt Crowley, you go out there and you dance with her. And you just keep dancing, Matt Crowley, until we form a plan of what the hell we were going to do with this woman. To this day, I am not sure, and I don't want to know, how many staffers she hit on at that dance. Starting with Matt Crowley, but it's all right. One of my favorite things that I laugh over still to today. Anyway, but something else was happening as the years passed. You all grew older, wiser, and you started to come back to me. Calls, letters, visits, emails about what being on staff had meant to you. How it had taught you so much you use daily, and how you were just coming to realize how special the staff experience was for you. The same was happening for me. It took time to understand that what we shared was a most unique experience, and the tools gained were so very transferable to life and your work. While you felt the need to thank me, it was the basic tenets of the program from day one that deserve the praise. Always put the new students first, share your knowledge and your personal journey, be open to new ideas and people, work hard but laugh harder, and mostly respect difference. Everyone has their own path and their own story. Truly, it's that simple. We're in a different time for SPOP these days, but the original basics are there, set up by Bob and others. And I hope they always will be. You are my life's work. Okay, let's keep it together. And I am... Oh, stop. And I am oh so very proud of each of you. It was an honor to work here at UCI, and specifically with SPOP and all of you. While we may have struggled and had disagreements along the way, we did good things. You made a difference. You are still making a difference. When it's all over, isn't that all that really matters? So I'll close by saying thank you. It seems somehow maybe a little trivial, and I don't mean it that way at all. Thank you for everything. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my work. Thank you for what you've done to my alma mater. Stop it, Matt Crowley. You're gonna make me cry. I know that's been your thing all day. But you made my dreams come true. I can never, ever, ever thank each and every one of you for doing that for me. I love you, and God bless. Thank you, once again. Okay. Did I wear waterproof mascara? No one else. Okay. All right, so I think we're now going on to something else? Some kind of act?